Hey guys, here's Louie, and on this video is basically me putting some guy coat on the 68 Firebird and wet sanding it. I like to use the final stage of when it comes to sanding your primer. I like to use wet and dry paper, but of course I'm going to use water, so it's going to be wet sanding. And 600 grit I have here. I shared with you guys in the last video. This is the stuff I like to use, the sandpaper I like to use. So this is the block that you will get when you're ready to wet sand, or you could use it for dry sand. Okay, really flexible. And what I like to do is I like to put it by the middle of the paper and measure it. Okay, I'll be one side and this will be the other side. All right, then I fold it down like this. Okay, and when it opens, now you know you have 1, 2, and 3 pieces right here you could use. You put your pad back, you wrap it around, you're able to get 3 spots on the paper to wet sand or dry sand the car. Like I said, I choose to do wet sand. So what I basically did first, I used a microfiber towel with clean water in the bucket, and I wiped down the whole car from any dust in the garage that landed on the car. So I wiped that nice and clean. Okay, changed my bucket, wash the bucket out, put clean water back in there, and you could use dish soap. You only need 2 to 3 drops the most on your bucket, and I put 1 drop on a spray bottle. Okay, and this spray bottle right here is basically when you're wet sanding to keep the panels on the car wet. As soon as you start feeling that your pad is like sticking, it's because she's too dry. You wet it again, keep on sanding. I might demonstrate on the quarter panel. On the hood, on the roof is a little difficult because of the light. The way the light shines, you guys won't be able to see it too good. But on this quarter panel, yes. So I'll show you guys just the motions that you have to sand. Okay, crisscross. You always want to do crisscross, and you want to use a pad. There is guys out there that don't use a pad, they use their hand. I do not like to use my hand. I fear that it's gonna leave some finger marks. So whenever I sand on the car, I use a block. Now, the only time I don't use a block is if I get the Scotch-Brite pad, which are these Scotch-Brite pads, and I'm gonna do a body line on it. Okay, and again, I'm not digging in, I'm just giving it a tooth for the paint to have some where to grab. All right, guys, so this is the paint that I used. It's an original white 1968 Pontiac Firebird. Used it in 1968, and it's a white. Okay, I believe it's all ivory white. The name, the number of the paint, I don't have it right now this moment. If any of you are interested, leave a comment and I'll put it in. So this paint recommendation was for 1-to-1. All right, so 4 parts paint, 1 part hardener, okay, and 1 part reducer. And I use a slow reducer. Why did I use a slow reducer? Because I I was painting in the pure summer. It's August here, 2023 in Pennsylvania. And yesterday was close to 80. I was like, the garage was like at 77 degrees. And I went for it straight after work. It's not easy to be committed to your hobby and everything else, work, family, friends. I actually painted this car after doing 8 straight days of work. Today is Saturday and it's my day off, and I've been doing nothing but a whole bunch of housework and yard work. But like I said, I am so, let's say, I am so advanced on this project because every day, and I really believe in this, I've been doing it for years on all my Firebirds. Every day, if you could dedicate an hour or two, the most, to your project, even if it's an hour, you'll be amazed of how forward you will become, how advanced you'll become on your project. All right, and that being said, so I use also the paint pourer here. You put this on your gallon, really important to use. I wiped it down as soon as I finished using it. My gun is apart because I was cleaning my gun. Where is my gun? Oh, right here. There's a mess in the garage because I started doing housework and fixing things around the house instead of fixing the Firebirds today. So I have a mess of tools and everything. This gun worked excellent. You guys can see it right there. It says max PSI 28. I had this gun yesterday at 22, and boy, did she laid out beautiful. I wish I could make a video. I will record the process of me painting the car, but the reason I couldn't is because the garage was so foggy. I sprayed in the garage with all the doors closed, even the windows closed. When I finished spraying her, I cracked all 3 windows just a little. Then when I finished spraying the car, I opened up the windows halfway, all 3 of them. And about 2 hours later, I let all the fumes go out and I opened the garage door. I just had one little fly land on the car, but thanks God this morning I woke up, I just tapped it right out. So what I did was I laid down a piece of paper on the garage door over there, and I was practicing with the gun my pattern, all right? And when I felt comfortable with the pattern the gun was laying down is when I sprayed the car. So I'm happy to say that finally the car, the bird, has its white feathers now. I think it came out excellent. Once again, I am not a professional painter, and it's my second car that I do a complete paint job to. I have touch-up paint. I have painted just one panel or spots, but it's my second car doing a whole paint job. And for you guys out there, to keep you motivated, the truth is that the more you practice, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. Bottom line, there ain't nobody out there that started from Jump Street and started as a pro. No way. I would never buy that story. It's like a baby, okay? They start crawling first. Eventually, they start walking wobbly until they could walk nice and firm, and from there start running. All right, there goes the car. I'm so excited how she looks. I mean, everything looks awesome. She has such a high gloss. It's crazy. I love the way it came out. Once again, this is a single stage paint. All right. Now, the only thing with single stage is my interior still looks awesome. My dashboard. Believe me, I covered this car good. But let me get to this point. The only problem with single stage is that it's everything in one. So it's a one-shot deal. You're gonna have your gloss and your color all in one shot. Okay, that's it. It's a one-shot deal. It's not like base coat, clear coat. If you messed up a little bit on the base coat, you could go back. If you mess up a little bit with a clear coat, you could sand it down and buff it out. You could also do it with single stage, don't get me wrong. But for base coat, you could actually shoot it and go back and then apply your clear. I like single stage. I'll be honest with you, it gives it more of an original look on these cars. For me, if I could find the color that I want on my bird, I'm gonna stick with single stage. I love it. PPG product, I'll go back and buy a color of PPG. The primer, there's a whole bunch of decisions and thoughts that I have on the primer. But to save money, of course, you know, there's other primers you could use out there. But the paint, I'm really happy with it. It's pricey. It ain't that crazy now. It is pricey, but in life, you get what you pay for, I believe. And so far, so good with this paint. I did get some runs on the car. Okay, I have little runs here and there, but it's nothing that it cannot be fixed. It could be fixed. When I paint my 69 Firebird, I had one fender, so much runs, I was upset for days. And I was pulling out my hair. How I'm going to get this straight? I hope I don't have to sand the whole fender down. I didn't. I went back. I learned how to do it, and I got all the runs out. I was able to get them out with no problems, and I'll do the same with this bird. But guys, here's a little update, and to keep you guys motivating and working on your project, keeping an eye on my videos and checking them out. I am still working on the bird. I have the fenders endorsed just to paint. Everything else is done just to paint. I'm gonna be working that in the next 2 days. And then I have the hood over here to finish also, and the deck lid. But guys, I mean, these panels, I'll run through it like nothing. My main concern was the body here. And I'm so happy to say that it was painted like factory back in the day. And I'm referring to the cow shoulders matching the color of the car. Over here matching the color of the car. And from here on your dashboard, if it's a color, it's gonna get sprayed different. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you want to do with your car. I just wanted to go as original as I possibly can on this car. Just that I changed the color because it's an original Vandero green. And as a little boy, I always wanted a white car outside and the red and being red color inside. And now I got it. God is good. I still need to paint inside the wheel wells. I'm not nervous to do that because I've done it before this way. I'm gonna be painting it black. Nothing fancy, just black satin paint on both wheel wells in the back. And inside the trunk, I still have parts and stuff inside the trunk. That's all coming out so I could do the trunk the right way. I love the way how Jonathan did his trunk. I will be doing the same thing to my trunk. I'm not sure yet what paint I'm going to be using, but I'm trying to hit to go as original as I can. Just for you guys to know that in Pontiac, depending what plant your car got built, not every Firebird first generation anyways. I only know first generation. They use the same paint. Some of them are darker. Some of them look like a black. Some of them look like a green. All right. I think I'm going to go more for like that green splatter paint on this bird here. But keep sharing my videos. Let's keep making this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, First Generation Garage. I hope it keeps growing. I want to thank all the new subscribers. All right, I'm going to try to give you guys updates even if it's once a week. But I'm still working on the 68 bird, the bird that came back from the dead, which her name is Lucy. And the reason I called her Lucy is because also as a little boy, I enjoy watching the I Love Lucy show. I have a old soul, young but with an old soul. And my 67 and my 69 Firebird, it's Laverne and Shirley, because I also enjoy watching that show. But I'll keep you guys posted, and I'm making these videos to show you guys, yes, you can. It is able to paint a car in a regular house garage, okay? I'll be honest with you. There ain't junk, so much stuff on this car, okay? Very, very little. You're always gonna have a little junk on the paint, especially if you're painting in your house garage. It's not a professional spray booth, but I hosed down the garage, I mopped the garage, I blew everything in the garage out. Wherever I could spray water, I washed it down. And these are the results, guys. So keep your project going and keep your hands dirty. Bye-bye now.